Home is where connections are made, memories are formed, and ideas are born. And no one knows home better than NFM. Thanks for tuning in to I Am Home, the podcast that goes deeper than trends and dives into what it means to make your house a home.
This is I Am Home, the Home Life Best Life podcast. Hello, I'm Tyler Weiskup, and I'm joined today by my co-host whose color commentary is as warm and inviting as a festive fall wreath. It's Becca Sedbeck.
Oh. Hi, Tyler.
Hi, Becca. And our other co-host, she's the spice to our podcast pumpkin. It's Hilary Waltemath.
Hey.
Hi, Hilary. I'm so thrilled to talk to you both today. Our theme this month is gratitude. And today's topic is creating the feeling of gratitude in your home. So I know it's going to give us all the warm home fuzzies, like all of those great feelings. But before we get to that, let me tell you why we're even doing this podcast. And that's because NFM is more than just your everything home store. We're in the business of improving lifestyles because your home life should be your best life. You can learn more at nfm.com. Hilary, do you want to just take it from here? I mean, introduce this topic. I'm so excited to kind of talk about some of these new trends that you're seeing.
Yeah, I am too. So last month we talked about Halloween trends, and now there's a little bit more of the chill in the air. We're moving further into fall, and we're thinking more about warmth and comfort of the season versus the spooky vibes that have passed. So now we can have our homes reflect the cozy, inviting atmosphere that comes along with the cooler months. And as we prepare for the holidays, we're often thinking about expressing gratitude for the time spent with loved ones, the comforts of our home, and the simple joys of the season. So today I want to help you kind of infuse those feelings of thankfulness into your space with some seasonal decor. So I'm going to walk you through three fall, sometimes we call them harvest trends, that are perfect for bringing that sense of warmth and gratitude into your home. I'll also give you some decor ideas. I'll share some fun party craft DIY suggestions. I'm really getting back into my crafting era I've found recently. And I think it's making a bit of a comeback too in terms of trends. And it's kind of easy to see why once you think about it. We've talked about this almost every time we talk about trend. They're ever evolving, and we're seeing things trend towards feeling more handmade, homemade, artisan-like versus that look and feel of being mass produced. And these pieces also have some special meaning to them. And in many cases, this crafting a little bit of DIY can be a more cost-effective way to create something more personal and unique. Yeah.
I mean, I think having that personal touch just feels like the moment that we're all in, because I feel like we've seen everything at this point. So if you can give me something new that feels like it's got
unique,
some of those
special,
rough edges,
different.
And I think we've been talking about staying current on the social media and things like that too. It feels like all that stuff is just a lot of it's just kind of thrown together, and we like it that way because it feels more authentic and real.
Yeah.
So why not in our home decor trends as well?
Yeah, for sure. And I think too, as we get into colder months, I'm thinking about what else can we be doing instead of being in front of the TV screen or whatever screen. So something where friends, family can kind of get in on it and make it an activity. And there's low expectations to it too. You know, it's more fun. So we'll dive into our first trend, which is appropriately named autumn leaves. Scott's going to pull up the mood board for us.
We have mood boards.
We've got mood boards. So our trend forecasting service that helps us out a ton puts these beautiful, beautiful mood boards together. And the photos do far more justice than I can even explain, but I'll do it my best.
Yes, for those listening,
yes,
we'll kind of describe them a little bit, but of course you can go to our YouTube where you can see all of the visual elements yourself.
Yeah. So very soft and relaxed. There's an appreciation for nature, also sustainability. And if you're a bit of a conscious consumer, this one is probably going to feel the most seasonless. It's a little less themey, I would say. And a lot of this could like very easily transition into winter or even into spring months. So if you look at it's got like the classic orange warm tones, but some more color infused in that than what you typically see. So more bold jewel tones mixed in that as well. And then kind of obviously kind of softened out with some neutral tones too. So you've got a few icons with like the classic turkey, green pumpkins, which are a little like unconventional, those like Cinderella pumpkins, maple leaves, figs, glazed ceramics and pottery, hydrangea, colorful dried florals, classic warm tone check patterns. Something I saw, which I think is really clever, especially if you're a conscious consumer, is to decorate your home with squash and eat it throughout the season.
Yeah.
So it's something that's got like a really long shelf life.
Yeah.
And they're sometimes in like fun colors and fun shapes.
Yeah.
And so like throw them in a bowl on your island or your kitchen.
I love that idea.
Yeah. And then they don't go to waste.
Right.
Yeah.
I love squash too.
Yeah.
It's good for
All
you.
of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's a really fun idea.
Yeah. And like, obviously, like, I think decor, like, I'm really drawn to like decorating with food items also. So, like, love to use figs. That shelf life isn't as long, but they are like the produce of the season is so beautiful. And it's like, there's a reason the colors like align with the decor for the season.
Yeah. If you've got like a party, like decorating with something that has a little bit shorter of shelf life, so this may be a good way for you to break up those figs for that.
Yeah,
that specific
for
event.
sure.
Yeah.
Like, and then have some goat cheese out there and put a little goat cheese on your fig. Yeah. Then you've got edible arrangement. Is that trademark?
I don't think so.
No.
I've never heard that.
No,
term
me either.
before. Wow, what
Original
So
concept.
genius.
good idea. Oh my gosh. And we don't have sponsors on this show.
Yeah. But edible arrangements, hit us up. We could put one right in the middle of this table. So some other party craft DIY ideas. Leaf stamps. So this takes me back to, I'm sure we did this
like
in,
elementary school.
uh-huh,
Okay.
but you could take a basic linen tablecloth and your guests or family could
Like find leaves and stamp it.
Yeah.
It's very satisfying. Yeah.
That's a fun idea too.
Yeah.
What colors are we using? Are we using, because this is autumn leaves, so I'm like, does it have to be like just the normal leaf colors? Or are you doing some of these like more fun colors that we've kind of talked about so far?
You could do either,
Yeah.
kind of thinking about what you're doing on the rest of the table. If the rest of that's pretty neutral, great opportunity to bring some color in with your leaf stamps. You could do whatever you want. You could go either way. Yeah. The other kind of craft that fits well within this trend in particular is cross stitch. So it's not it's not as simple as like a leaf stamp. It requires like a little bit more skill, but I saw these really adorable like cross stitch pumpkins that had some like fun color and designs on them. You could do them with like little wall hangings. I know sometimes like buying seasonal wall decor feels like unnecessary, but if you made just like a little piece you could throw up or prop up on your backsplash in your kitchen. You could even do it with like linen napkins too.
Yes.
And
that's super classy. If you can do that.
Yeah. Or you could just do like little details on it. And the nice thing is like you could just like snip it, remove it, and then it's back to
can do them for the next season.
And I know cross stitch, I mean, there's so many like resources for like patterns and like all like, and then there's sewing machines that just some make it a little bit easier in certain elements if you're going to do some embroidery type stuff. And I think this is a little bit more accessible maybe than like what I remember from my mom, like trying to like
buying the book. Those days. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, relatively low cost
Mhm.
to do that. And if you don't like it, take the stitching out. And then you don't ever have to look at it again
There you go.
if it didn't turn out like you
There
wanted.
you go.
Oh.
Gift it to your grandma, I guess.
Yes,
maybe.
there you go. She'll cherish it. Put it right in the center of her curio. Okay. On to our second trend called Deeply Rooted.
Okay.
Scott's going to pull up the mood board for this one too.
Oh no, we got a peek at the other one. Okay. Deeply
You got a
rooted.
sneak peek. So, appropriately named, this one is Rooted in Simplicity, taking cues from nature and the changing of seasons. It's a little bit more primitive. So, if you're the quiet luxury type,
Okay.
you're like modest in design, but met with high quality materials, this one's for you. So colors with this are deeper, moodier hues, or even kind of like dusty hues. Burgundy oxblood, which is like a big trend in apparel this season as well too.
Burgundy oxblood.
Mhm,
Okay.
that deep, almost like my nail
Yeah.
color.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
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 Okay. Yeah, that like
So big trend in fashion.
really auburn like
Deep
really
red.
really deep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Earth tones, rusty oranges, and yellows. More of your classic fall color palette, I would say.
Mhm.
So decor in this one is paisley prints, like wooden pumpkins and gourds, raffia material, like raffia pumpkins,
Mhm.
raffia turkeys. Again, using like food as decor, walnuts, olive leaves, dried wheat mixed with organic linen. So that's that like primitive
Yeah.
side of it. Things are just kind of left in their natural state almost. So some party craft DIY ideas. You could make name cards by embroidering leaves. So you could collect like larger maple leaves and real primitive, like stitch somebody's
Oh.
name into the
Okay. Uh-huh.
the leaf. Got to pick it at the right season so it doesn't like
Don't
crumble.
let it dry out.
Crumble on you. But it's like a nice special touch. And like I said, this is a little more like primitive and simple. I also saw they made, this also makes me feel very nostalgic. Have you had a popcorn ball before? Are you familiar with popcorn balls? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they did that, but like in the shape of maize, the corn,
Oh,
and then wrapped it in parchment paper that kind of looked like husks.
Nice.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah, that is cute.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, something fun like the family could get in on.
Yeah.
Our friends. You could make those as like a little treat, and then they kind of serve as like decor on your table
Yeah.
too. And then the other thing you could do with family and friends is thinking about some more intentional activities. So maybe doing a little reflecting, expressing gratitude. So providing everybody with some paper and writing utensil and spend some time doing that as a group and then sharing it.
We have to do that every Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
do?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Or like, and we probably have like 40 people.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but everybody
Oh.
Yeah.
gets to share.
Yeah. Is it something where everyone's groaning, or do people get into it?
I wouldn't say people are groaning.
Okay.
I mean, we've been doing it forever. That like
Mhm.
it's not like, oh no, like no, people like it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it is nice to like hear everyone come. And also, it's really fun to hear the kids because usually
Aw.
they're like their things are off the wall.
Uh-huh.
They're really funny.
Make you laugh, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, the perspective of gratitude at
Yeah.
varying ages.
It's so funny. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because I mean, we have like 3 to
Mhm.
96.
Yeah.
Nice.
We span a lot of years.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so sweet. I love that that's a tradition in your
Yep.
family. So yeah, that's deeply rooted.
Deeply rooted.
Mhm.
We got autumn leaves, deeply rooted.
Yep.
You're more sophisticated,
Mhm.
simple,
Yeah,
clean.
modest,
Yeah.
but high quality
Mhm.
materials
Yeah.
used.
Like leaves.
Yeah, like leaves.
Super high quality.
High quality, organic, straight from the yard leaves.
No,
Okay.
but everything else, of course.
Yes. We ready for the final one?
I'm I think so. I
Okay.
think so. I mentally prepared myself. Yes.
I was thoughtful in the order where I didn't leave you at like the Halloween one. I left with the like most spooky and
Right.
settling one. I think this one will be a good one to end on.
Nice.
So this third one is called Moments of Warmth.
Okay.
So there's our mood
Oh
board.
gosh, it looks great.
Okay.
So
Look at
a
those
little bit
pumpkins.
more,
Oh, weird.
I know.
yeah, a little
It's
more
okay.
traditional, opulent, lots of gilded details. Feels a little romantic, a little bohemian too. So it's opulent, but not too stuffy.
Yeah.
And also kind of maximalist, like more is more in a lot of applications here.
Yeah.
So what you'll see in decor is tortoiseshell spotting. So those pumpkins
Mhm.
that are on the mood board are glass, and they've got like the
Oh,
tortoiseshell
cool.
spots, which
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah.
Love,
I
love,
love
love.
I've
those
never
too.
seen that. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, kind of fun and different from your like this person is not collecting pumpkins from the pumpkin patch and just like
Yeah.
putting them out.
Yeah.
They've got gilded glass
Yeah.
pumpkins.
Yeah. I love it.
So foiled leaves, you can kind of see in that wreath,
Yeah.
there's kind of like a metallic sheen to it
Yeah.
a little bit. Mums, acorns, like lush cornucopia. So things are really full and lush and overflowing. Maximalist kind of floral patterns. So not everything is matchy. We're mixing a lot of the same fabrics together. Heavy fringe, and then a mix of kind of new and old combined things that have been collected over time, plus infusing some new. So some party craft DIY ideas you can consider is decoupage pumpkins. I don't know the last time you maybe
Long
did
time.
that, but yeah, you could, collect fabric or paper that you've had on hand, leftover wrapping paper, or
Your cool floral patterns.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
I love it.
Yeah,
I
for
think that would
sure.
look classy. Because I was curious, like, if I don't have all this maximalist, if I'm interested in this trend and I don't have that in my home already, how do I bring it in?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. And if you don't like the mess of like carving a pumpkin,
Yeah.
if that's not your vibe, or even sometimes like painting them feels kind of like a mess as well too. This decoupage is a little less messy. And then as we kind of get into gifting season, using stems, greenery, foliage as kind of like a gift topper to make it a little bit extra special, a little bit over the top. So you could DIY your gift toppers a little bit. So yeah.
Lovely. And it's fun just to say decoupage.
Decoupage, is a really fun thing to say. Yeah. Decoupage with your Mod Podge. Another specific brand shout out.
Okay.
So those are the three kind of fall harvest seasonal trends for the season. So we've got autumn leaves, deeply rooted, moments of warmth. So I'm sure you know what question's coming next. Which of the three is most your vibe?
You want me to start back?
Sure. You go.
Man, this is tougher than for me than the Halloween.
I agree.
I feel like there's a lot of they're clearly different, but there's some similarities and through lines. It feels like a little bit more, like you said, there's a little bit more of the handcrafted element, but it's still like everything's elevated, which I think is really cool. And that's where I'm like, well, I'm just kind of like I'm just a ho-hum kind of guy. So like I'm trying to figure out like which one it like feels the most accessible. I want to be moments of warmth. I think that there's like something in that just feels like, like you can put a lot of things together and it just looks great. That more maximalist vibe. Just that more is more, and having just a lot of fun things going on. I feel like that's where I want to be. I don't know though. Like I think from a practical standpoint, I'm probably more of like, well, this year everything's going on. I'm only gonna have like time to do a few things, and it's gonna look more like autumn leaves than this moment. More than that like super powerful maximalist approach.
I'd say autumn leaves is the one that's kind of like held strong year
Mhm.
over year. It's kind of like,
Mhm.
It's classic.
Yeah.
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 That's why it's autumn leaves. And I was thinking, like,
Yeah.
why is it called? Because it's not like the same color. Though,
Right.
isn't it? Like,
Right.
but it's accessible
Yeah.
and it's classic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The pieces that'll serve you year over year.
Yeah.
For sure.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's probably where I land, even though I'm like aspiring
Mhm.
to be warm
Mhm.
because I'm a cold-hearted person and I want to be warmer.
Right. We love a self-aware man.
Okay.
Thanks, Tyler.
Becca,
Okay.
what about you?
Becca.
I think I gotta go with moments of warmth.
Yeah.
I love the tortoise shell. I love
Mhm.
fringe. I love like mixing and matching things. So I think that's mums. I love mums in the fall.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think that's where I'm at.
That fits your vibe for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hillary.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to round us out and I have to go with deeply rooted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I like to keep things pretty simple, especially when it comes
Yeah.
to seasonal decor. And I love to be a little like unconventional with what I use or reuse items in new ways, and being kind of conscious with that as well too. I'm like very much into the burgundy, the ox blood.
I was just gonna say that feels like
Yeah.
that to me. Like if I had to pick the one thing out of this one, you're like that color. I want it.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yep. So
Deeply
that's-
rooted.
Yeah.
Yeah. And from your time on the farm, you have
Yeah.
deep roots.
Yes, I do
Yeah.
have deep roots. You're right.
You're
right.
wearing your horse girl.
I do
sweater.
have my horse girl sweater on. Yeah, exactly. Spot on.
Okay. All right. Well, Hillary, thank you so much for walking us through these trends. I think we obviously learned a lot about like what's happening right now in the home decor world in the space. It feels like there's that elevated, that handcrafted, just being able to kind of like pull a lot of different styles together, but there's a place for everybody.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and you can mix and match to your heart's desire to make it your own. So no rules.
There are no rules. Okay, well, thanks again, Hillary. Thanks, Becca. I want to thank my co-producers, Scott and Ann. And finally, I want to thank you, listeners. We appreciate you and we want to hear from you too. So head over to nfm.com/podcast. This is our website where you can send us questions. We're giving free advice. We want to hear from you. And to wrap things up, always remember, home is what you make it.
Thanks for joining us today for I Am Home with Tyler Weisskopf, Hillary Waltemath, and Becca Sudbeck. No one knows home quite like NFM. So if you'd like more information on home design at NFM, please check out nfm.com and leave us a review on the podcast platform of your choice.